We bop and hippity hop. I'm as happy as I can be. Boom, boom, and hippity zoom. Love is sweet, love's grand, works one.
Daniel. Rex. It's cold. I don't know if you've heard.
Baby, it's cold outside. Is that what we're doing? Oh.
That's not what we're doing. It's cold.
It's cold.
And
for us.
And I queried the tribe. I said, hey, you magnificent bastards, there's only one thing that can save me in this post-apocalyptic glacial wasteland. That's the hot toddy. And so after,
I would have thought of a couple of other things, but that's fine.
After several dozen ball-busting comments about how we don't know cold.
You don't know from cold.
We don't know from cold. We started getting some hot toddy recommendations.
Yes.
So tell us about the hot toddy. Where did the hot toddy
So the hot
come from?
toddy originates, as far as we know, it's just a spiced hot beverage originating in India. So they brought it back to England and then they started adding whiskey to it. So Scotch and Irish whiskeys, and then when it made its way to America, it transitioned to rye and bourbons.
Right.
Now the basic ingredients of any hot toddy need to be some kind of sweetener, right? It needs to be hot. It needs to have some kind of spice or herb, and typically citrus of some sort these days.
Now the thing that struck me is how many rules there aren't when it comes to making a hot
Yeah,
toddy.
it's not like a martini where people start flipping out. It's sort of like, if it's hot and a little bit spicy and kind of citrusy and has some whiskey, nah, that seems good.
You're good. So we went through, after all the ball-busting comments about how cold it's not in Texas, you don't know. You don't know. We went through and Daniel chose 3 hot toddy recipes that looked interesting to him. Actually, he chose 2 and then put his own recipe in there.
Yeah.
I chose 3. And so we're gonna make those recipes and we're gonna have a showdown, a hot toddy showdown. Usually whenever we do like best blank, we ask the community and we have like hundreds, sometimes thousands of people giving us their opinion and then we present the findings. This is really just our
This is what we want.
personal preference. To you ingredient connoisseurs, these are going to be the quick down and dirty ingredients. We wanted to put together some hot toddies that didn't require going to specialty stores and stuff. Just fast and easy things to see how good a hot toddy can be without going overboard with exotic ingredients. The Auchentoshan,
the Jameson, and the McKenna.
and the McKenna. Mine, the Weller, the Elijah Craig Glen Ross. We're going to read out the comments of the people suggesting.
You really picked like a super expensive rare whiskey for your toddy? Do you realize what's going on there?
What does Richard Smallwood say?
All right, Richard Smallwood says Lipton black tea.
Okay.
I got Lipton for you over here. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, you ready? Now, he said Lipton. He said squirt of honey, a whole cinnamon stick, I think a squirt of lemon juice. And then his recommendation was a cheap bourbon.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So as long as there are people on planet Earth who can get this for a cheap price,
Oh Lord.
we're using the Weller.
You are the worst. Oh, garnish with a lemon slice. So you want to make one at a time?
Yeah, one at a time.
Okay.
Is there a specific temperature that we need to take the water to?
Only for the tea. It's just the hottest level for classic black tea.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. And we'll use that same water for everything else. You ready? All right.
So how do you know how much tea to put in there?
A shot of whiskey.
A shot of whiskey.
A shot of whiskey in each one, and then otherwise fill water until it tastes like you want it.
Okay. So first we're gonna start
Like
with
none. That is 1 ounce right there. So there it is.
Yeah. And then did you
Smells
already
good.
put the honey in there?
Now I'm putting the cinnamon in. I'm gonna put a little dollop of clover honey. Here, that's for you.
This is like clover honey, which isn't the fanciest honey. This is Lipton tea, which isn't the fanciest tea.
That's it. Now let's stir this bad boy up a little, get that honey dissolved, get the cinnamon. I love the way this smells. It smells like that potpourri you boil on the stove in the holidays.
Oh yeah.
Let's leave that so it cools down so it's drinkable. So your next one is Barton Howling.
Small batch of the hot. Ooh, this is the cider one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
I wanted to mix it up with the cider.
We won't need this whole packet of cider. But this is just a dissolvable cider, so true cider snobs are gonna be unhappy with us. A dollop of real butter and a cinnamon stick.
Oh yeah.
So Elijah Craig was his recommendation. I just gotta keep these straight. a dollop of butter.
Put the Weller behind that one.
You ready?
That's a good dollop.
Just gonna melt that butter in there.
Yeah. Have you heard about this butter coffee thing going on?
Yeah, it's not that good. I drank it for a couple of weeks. All right, we'll let that cool down a little bit. Notice no citrus in this.
So none of my options had the traditional just hot water. That didn't sound interesting to me. I wanted to mix it up with more than just warmed water and whiskey and some citrus and honey.
Cody Powers. Tea works better than hot water, but I prefer green tea for health purposes as well as the flavor,
This
said
is
Cody
my healthy
Powers.
option.
Yes. He tends to use a teaspoon of lemon, but he's heard orange can be good. So which would you rather go? Which direction? You want to make it orange?
Let's do some orange. Let's mix it up a little bit. Oh, look at that.
All right. We got ourselves an orange slice. We need honey. He didn't have cinnamon in his. Okay, no cinnamon then. And Glenrothes and, clove honey. That's what he wanted.
And he said he liked the fruitiness that this Scotch provided.
Dollop of honey.
Just mixing it up. I'm gonna try this with orange. Green tea and orange sounds like it could be a thing. So right now, we're choosing my front runner.
Yeah.
So you can have an opinion,
Yeah.
but I get to actually have final say.
Okay.
On the front runner. I'm gonna go with the Weller. I feel like I should fish out this lemon wedge. But
Yeah.
ooh. I'm getting just a really nice balanced combination of all of these. The lemon, the cinnamon, and then there's that bit of honey on the back end. And this was just Lipton tea.
Mm-hmm. Just generic black tea.
That's nice.
I have a feeling all of these are gonna be
That's
good.
nice and citrusy and refreshing. It's not as sweet or as sour as like lemonade, but if you like directionally lemonade, you just like that lemon zesty type of feel. It's a little bit of cinnamon and honey added in there to give it some character and some sweetness. It's really nice.
Now what are we moving on to? This is whose?
This is the Barton Halling recipe here.
Okay.
This is Elijah Craig, dollop of honey, the cinnamon stick.
Right, and the
then,
butter.
And then the
I don't think it had honey. I
didn't
think
have it.
was
It's a
just
dollop of butter. It's a dollop
Yeah.
of butter. And like the butter floating in there. Can you see the butter?
Oh, that's glorious. Oh yeah,
Damn,
that's gonna be good.
Wow.
All right, so now we're on to Cody Powers.
Cody Powers.
And he's doing green tea,
This is a Scotch. a green tea.
Glenrothes,
Oh.
a little bit of honey, and a little bit of orange.
Surprising me is how much this green tea isn't getting overshadowed by the Scotch. This is green tea for days. If I'm not looking for just a sweet indulgence,
Right.
which is what that cider thing is.
Right.
This is just an indulging dessert type
Right.
of drink. But if I want something that feels like a grown-up drink, it feels like the green tea and the little bit of sweetness and fruitiness from the Scotch. What's surprising me from this though is how much of this green tea is coming through. Damn, dude. And then on the back end, you get a little bit of that dark fruit and a bitter finish from the Scotch there, which is really nice. Hold on, this cider thing, and I think this is barely within what most people consider a hot toddy. It's kind of amazing.
That's the one.
The
You
butter,
going with it?
The butter and the cinnamon and the Elijah Craig and
All right.
the whole thing there. It's, yeah.
Okay.
That's nice. All right, let's do yours.
Okay. Let's see. Hot water, hot water, hot water. None of mine have tea. Mine are all hot water. First, Jim Nash, a nice sweet bourbon like Henry McKenna. Lemon, water, honey. Simple as you could possibly get. The second one, Joy Caves, 1 to 2 jiggers of Jameson.
Maybe 2.
Let's make it 2. Joy does honey or agave, so let's switch to agave for her.
Okay. Okay.
Hers needed cinnamon and a few cloves.
Cloves, you said.
Yeah. And then a little hot water. Heavy on the Irish. And then you clear out all the bits and bobs after letting it steep for a bit for hers.
Okay, just for.
But we're not going to clear out all the bits and bobs. We're just going to leave it in there. Now mine.
We drink hot toddies with the bits and the bobs, like barbarians.
Mine I had actually just a dash of sugar. And then mine is 1 of Auchentoshan. And that's the 12. Now I chose Auchentoshan because it's really oily. And I like the way that clings. Water, sugar, whiskey. I find it really works. I'm gonna start with mine because mine is mild and everything else is gonna overwhelm it.
All right.
Oh, come on though, dude. Now Joy, ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
It could use a little more sweetener. Jim's is good, but it's a little too bourbony sweet for me. Of these, I actually prefer my Auchentoshan the best.
Of course you do.
But Joy's is pretty floral and vibrant. Let's add a little more sugar.
Yeah.
And then call hers done, or a little more agave, and see if that brings it up That did it. Try it again.
So, when you're making a hot toddy, if you really want the whiskey to come through,
I inhaled some alcohol vapors.
are you getting tossed around by a hot toddy?
No, I inhaled through the wrong note.
Is a hot toddy a little too? I called us barbarians, and you're choking down a hot toddy. If you really like the flavor of the whiskey, you want that to come through. Don't mess with the teas or ciders or anything like that. Just go hot water.
Oh my God, that's apple pie in a cup.
Yes. Yes. It's kind of great.
I just tried one of Rex's. It tastes like hot liquid apple pie.
You tried my.
That's amazing. Who wins?
We need a tiebreaker.
I think it's just gonna be truly fancy dessert or classic. Hey, are you on campus? Okay, we're gonna make you decide on the best hot toddy.
All right, so my hot toddy of choice, Barton Halling. It's Elijah Craig, small batch. Little hot apple cider, a dollop of real butter, and a cinnamon stick to stir. Do you think it'll win? It may not win.
I think the thing is, it's hard to beat dessert, right? It's just, it's like, look, if we're winning on the merits of classic, I don't feel that good.
Right.
I just want something to make me feel better. I think mine wins.
Which is,
but if you're already feeling okay.
Most people usually are reaching for a hot toddy whenever they're feeling under the weather, though. An apple pie may
Mine
be.
is still standing up. It's classic good.
It's really nice.
It does not work with bourbon.
Does it not?
No, that's too sweet. And I went through multiple scotches before Akhenaten brought out that oil heavy, and it stood up to the sugar and water.
Yeah.
I've tried it with smoky whiskeys. It's just too much of a struggle when you want comfort.
We have summoned the world's foremost hot toddy expert.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna be the tiebreaker between me and Daniel here. Which one of these do you prefer? First of all, have you had hot toddy before?
Well, I'm an expert.
Oh, yeah.
So no, I haven't.
Oh.
That's not bad. Definitely this one.
When you're feeling when you're feeling good and everything's fine, you're gonna default to the dessert in a cup.
Okay, so in the distillery, we're going to do Barton's
apple pie.
Because it tastes like
It does.
apple pie.
Like just straight up apple
Yeah,
pie.
it's good though.
That-
pie.
You liked it?
That was really good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm nursing some hot toddy wounds right now, but it's fine because I have a hot toddy.
You know, in my research, back whenever the Indians were teaching the British how to make hot toddies,
Yeah. In your research?
Why would
that
you-
was the part that was funny.
why would you laugh at my research?
They shut down the tea operation at the Welcome Center. And so they have all these really amazing mugs and water kettles that are no longer using.
Nice.
So they're currently loading them all into trays for me and to bring them to the distillery. And we don't have to buy anything.
Score.
Now that's a great thing.
Oh.
Barton's apple pie.
We're going for. I really hope Barton isn't an asshole.
Yeah.
Because
There's a lot riding on him.
it's low riding on you, Barton. Be cool, man.
Get your shit together.
I think there's only one thing that could improve. I want to add so much heat that it starts to caramelize that sweetness, that sugar. I love creme brulee.
We're stirring.
Here, I'll do the fire.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. You hear that caramelization?
Can you smell burning butter?
You smell that? Oh.
And we shattered the glass.
Can you? Oh, dude, that's oh.
All right, there you go.
It's caramelized sugar, apple cider, butter, cinnamon, cask strength bourbon.
What do you think?
I think if we brought this drink to the UN and we put this in front of every world leader, we would have world peace within 8 minutes. To world peace.
To world peace.
And more importantly, the bring of world peace.